How do I follow that up? Jesus Christ. The ironic thing about being a Mexican being asked out by 10 women is I'm a gay man, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah, Shay's right, I'm a professional intuitive, and one of the things I teach about intuition is you have to be movable. In this world we get very stuck and very rigid, right? We crave security, especially in the world that feels very insecure right now. So the thing that I believe is, I believe in divine appointments. We're all here by divine appointment, right? We haven't come here by accident. So because you've all agreed to come here, I'm going to get you to kind of be movable right now. So everybody up, please. So I want you to find someone you don't know, and preferably not just the person next to you. And there's an old Sanskrit greeting, Namaste. I see the light within you and I greet it, because the light within me greets the light within you. I'd like you to go up to someone and say, I see the light within you and I love it. Go. See the light within you. Sorry. I see the light within you. I see the light and I love it. Okay, people. Yeah, I know. Isn't it nice when you actually just start to connect with people? Who here actually saw a light in another person's eyes? Hands up. How many of you found that really nice and comfortable and very easy to do? Good. The whole
Can't hear at the back.
Can't hear at the back. Is that better? Is that a bit too loud, Sammy? So here's the thing, guys. We live in a world right now that seems a little bit strange, right? Who here feels the world is just in a very normal place right now? Anybody feel the world is a little bit strange, a little bit uncomfortable right now? Yeah. So the thing about this is we have to be movable, right? We have to be movable by spirit. And it can be quite a challenge right now to be authentic and be who you really are. It can be a real challenge to not just fit in. Because the feeling in society is that, you know, for a long time we have had to fit in. But I know what it's like to be on the outside. So about 2 years ago I did something a little bit different. I've been a professional psychic now for about 10 years. I'm also an executive coach and an occupational psychologist. So I work with kind of CEOs, MDs, that kind of thing. And those two things were always quite separate to me. You know, going into a CEO and saying, yeah, I'm a psychic, I talk to angels. Kind of not the kind of thing that tends to go down. Anyone tried that?
Depends on the CEO.
Well, this is true, but for most, and particularly for FTSE 100 CEOs, right? I'd love to see someone go up to Philip Green actually and say, I wonder what your angels would have been telling you about British home stores. Yeah, that's the thing though. We all have guides, we all have angels, we all have guidance speaking to us all the time. And so about 2 years ago I decided to come out the closet. As you can probably tell, it's not the first time I came out the closet. And it was interesting because I actually was really scared. Because that's what happens when you take a risk and come out the closet, right? Who here has come out the closet in any way, shape or form? Lots of hands at the back. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Living in the closet doesn't just mean coming out the closet when you're gay. That's what it's colloquially known for, but that's not just it. For me, it's actually about coming out of the closet to who you really are. To being your true, magnificent, gifted self. So, I'm curious, who here has superpowers?
Yes.
Oh, good crowd. Who here believes they're world-class and gifted in those world-class gifts? Oh, I like it, I like it. So, young man, what's your world-class gift?
I have good intuition.
And can you tell us how you use it on a daily basis?
I feel the ambience when I walk into a place.
Okay.
When I walk through every door I walk through, I try to feel the ambience in that place, and I get a good sense of it usually.
Great. Someone at the back, someone raised their hand back there. Who has superpowers? Gentleman at the bar, what's your superpower? What's your superpower?
I can heal people and make them tune into their power within them. Make them discover that treasure within them.
Very nice, very nice. The thing about this is, it's very easy for us to sit in a place like this where we've got lots of people around us who kind of speak the same language. But then we go out there, right? How many of us are actually really willing to stand up and say, you know what, I have superpowers, I have gifts, and I'm willing to use them on a daily basis? So there are some who is a little bit scared of really owning up to who they really are. Sometimes. Let's be really honest here. Who here has, in the face of it, sometimes kind of pulled back from not using their powers? I certainly have, on a daily basis. But that's the thing, right? So Shay said to me, you know, back when, I mean, I actually spoke on the first night, which was really nice, and Shay said to me back then, the brief is 10 minutes, share your wisdom. So if I had to share my wisdom with you, it's like, actually, you know what? And we hear this time and time again, you'll hear this, I'm not the first person to say this, but the world needs us to not hide our powers. The world needs the specialness that each of us have. And the thing is, as I look at you, the reason why I got you to look at each other's eyes was because it's easy to do on a one-to-one basis. But when you're stood in a crowd, it's not so easy to stand there and go, I'm the one who stands out. So part of the reason why I brought my worlds together was, in my spiritual world, you know, I've spoken to and coached a lot of what I'd call light workers. A lot of people in here have probably heard that term. Hands up, anyone heard the term light workers? Right, again, so you can imagine me going into corporation or something like that and going, so, direct me to your light workers. How do we think that might go down? Not so much. Excuse me. So, about 2 years ago, someone said to me, what you do is really quite out there. It's a little bit maverick, isn't it? And I thought, oh, that's an interesting word, maverick. What does that mean? And so I looked it up. It means someone who's unorthodox, someone who goes against the grain. Is there anyone here who might be able to fit into that category, by any chance? Anyone who stands out just a little bit? Well, that's the thing. So I started with a couple of guys, a couple of middle-aged blokes down in Brighton, where I live. We started this thing called Mavericks Unlimited. And it's a tribe. And the idea is, I know from the light workers that I've worked with that it can be a lonely path. And it can be a scary path. Because again, it's that thing where you're challenged to be who you really are. You're challenged to say, you know what? I am gifted. You know what? I am powerful. You know what? Most of the British community, or most of the British culture, is going to tell me that's really big-headed. Or I'm too big for my boots. Well, you know what? Fuck that shit. Really, seriously. We've been hiding for too long, guys. And I'm not talking about, you know, kind of let's go out there and let's change the world and like let's do our thing and act. It's not about that. I forget who said it, but there's a really great quote from a guy who said, "Don't ask how I can change the world. Ask what brings me alive." Because actually, what the world needs is people who come alive. So that's the thing. When you actually start to give those gifts, when you actually are movable by spirit, as I'd call it, when you are actually drawn to give the gift of who you are in a moment. And I heard a really beautiful story earlier on from that young man over there, David, who was moved in the moment and just gave a gift from his heart. And I'd invite you to go over and ask David what that gift was later on. Just to put you on the spot, David.
Thank you very much.
I like doing that. But that's the thing. Right now it's about really stepping into who we are. And that calling of the heart, which is really the key to it, is not about what can I get in my own life. It's not about what can I manifest for myself. Michael Beckwith talks about the truest manifestation is when you step into alignment with what life wants from you. So the question is not what can I get from life, but what can life get from me? How can I make this bigger than myself? Because guess what? When you do that, you step into a flow. And that's what, there's a kind of a line when you actually stop being a consumer and you start becoming a creator in your own right. But that's not about manifestation. That's about being part of the orchestra that we're all in. That's about playing your part in the divine symphony, if you like. And so if I had to say anything tonight, it's just start to own the gift of who you really are. Because unless you do, no one else can. I've spent a long time coaching thousands of people just saying, I see the gift within you, but that's for nothing if they can't see it themselves. So give yourself that gift, be who you really are, and allow yourself and the world to see you shine. Thank you.